Listen carefully, because this is not just another video you click on and forget. This is not entertainment. This is not content. This is a message directly to you. Right now, the world is loud. Everybody is trying to prove they're the best. They flex what they own. They compare numbers. They shout their achievements to be noticed. But here's the truth. The strongest men, the real leaders, the unshakable ones, don't need to prove anything. Because they act as if they are already the best, not out of arrogance, not out of pride, but because they understand something deeper. That mastery of self is greater than mastery over others. The Stoics knew this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These men lived in times of chaos, pressure, and struggle, yet they carried themselves with calm power. They didn't chase applause. They didn't beg for approval. They lived by truths that made them untouchable. And today, I want to share those truths with you. Because if you learn to carry yourself with this same mindset, if you learn to move as if no one is above you, as if no one is greater than you, not because you're competing, but because you've already conquered yourself, you will become unstoppable. But before we begin, I need you to do one thing. If you're here, if this resonates with you, then join this mission. Hit the subscribe button, tap that like button, drop a comment below with your thoughts, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, because these aren't just videos. These are messages that you don't want to miss. Now, let's dive into the 5 Stoic truths that will teach you how to act as if you are the best, because no one is greater than the man who has mastered himself. Chapter 1. First truth: control what you can, release what you can't. The first Stoic truth is simple, but it is life-changing. Control what you can and release what you can't. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that for a moment. How much of your life is wasted stressing over things you cannot change? The weather, the economy, the way people talk about you, the opinions, the gossip, the noise. None of that is in your control. But your reaction, your discipline, your effort, your choices, that power belongs to you, and no one can take it away. A strong man doesn't complain about the storm. He learns to walk through it. A strong man doesn't beg for the world to be fair. He sharpens himself until he is unbreakable. When you stop giving your energy to what's outside of you, you free yourself. You stop being a slave to circumstances. You stop being a prisoner to what others think. You walk with calm, with focus, with strength. This is how you act like the best. Not by trying to control the world, but by mastering yourself. When people see that calmness in you, when they see you unmoved while everyone else is panicking, they know. They know you are different. They know you carry something they can't shake. So, the first truth to act as if you are the best: stand tall in the storm. Control what is yours. Release what isn't. That is real power. That is unshakable strength. Chapter 2. Second truth: your worth is not measured by comparison. The second Stoic truth you must carry deep within your soul is this: your worth is not measured by comparison. The world wants you to believe otherwise. From the moment you wake up, you are bombarded with reminders of where you stand against others. Social media tells you who has more money, more followers, a better car, a better body. The world whispers, "Look at them. Look how far ahead they are. Look how much you still lack." But that is a lie. Comparison is poison. It is the thief of joy, the destroyer of confidence, the silent killer of greatness. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, stop living for their approval. Stop performing for their applause. If you want to grow, if you want to build yourself into a man of power, you must become comfortable with being underestimated, overlooked, even mocked. Because your value is not defined by how they see you. It is defined by who you are becoming. The best man doesn't look left or right. He doesn't measure his worth by another man's wins or losses. He knows the only competition that matters is with himself. The man he was yesterday, the man he is today, and the man he is becoming tomorrow. Understand this. You don't need to be better than everyone. You don't need to outshine the world. You need only to master your own path. Think of it like this. If a lion compared itself to a shark, it would feel weak in the ocean. If a shark compared itself to an eagle, it would feel powerless in the sky. But each one is the master of its domain, the king of its element. And so are you. You were not born to live someone else's life. You were not built to follow their script. You were created to carve your own path, to master your own gifts, to dominate your own lane. When you live in comparison, you live in chains. But when you break free, when you look inward instead of outward, that's when you rise. That's when you act like the best. So here's the challenge. Every time you feel the urge to compare yourself, stop. Shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, am I better than I was yesterday? Am I stronger than I was last week? Am I wiser than I was last year? That is where true greatness lives, not in the shadow of another man, but in the relentless pursuit of your own growth. So if you want to act as if you are the best, carry this truth with you. Your worth is not measured by comparison. It is measured by your discipline, your choices, your growth, and your courage to live your life fully, without apology, without envy, without distraction. Comment below. What part of today's affirmation, what you think you become, resonated with you most deeply? Why do you think it struck a chord? Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're serious about changing the way you think and showing up as your highest self every single day, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss your daily mental reset. Chapter 3. Third truth. Discipline is freedom. The third. Stoic truth is this. Discipline is freedom. At first, that sounds like a contradiction. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, with no rules and no limits. But the Stoics knew that kind of freedom is not freedom at all. It is slavery. Slavery to your impulses. Slavery to your laziness. Slavery to your desires. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, said it clearly. No man is free who is not master of himself. Think about that. The man who sleeps all day because he feels like it is not free. He is a prisoner to his comfort. The man who eats whatever he wants with no control is not free. He is a slave to his appetite. The man who cannot stop scrolling, cannot stop drinking, cannot stop chasing cheap pleasures, he is not free. He is chained. But the man who wakes up with purpose, even when he's tired, he is free. The man who disciplines his body in the gym, who sharpens his mind with study, who controls his tongue in anger, he is free. Because he does not bow down to impulses, he commands them, and that command gives him power. Discipline creates a kind of strength that no one can give you and no one can take away. It is the foundation of true greatness. When you are disciplined, you don't need motivation. You don't need applause. You don't need someone to push you, because you push yourself. Ask yourself, who is stronger, the man who does what he wants or the man who can deny what he wants? Who is truly free? The one who follows every impulse, or the one who masters his impulses? The answer is obvious. The man of discipline is the man of freedom. And here's the beauty of discipline. It compounds. One small act of self-control today builds into strength tomorrow. The workout you didn't want to do, the book you chose to read instead of wasting time, the moment you stayed calm instead of exploding in anger. These small victories add up. They build a man whose presence is unshakable. This is why the Stoics acted as if they were the best, not because of ego, but because their discipline made them untouchable. While others complained, they acted. While others drifted, they moved with purpose. While others chased pleasure, they built power. So remember this: if you want freedom, build discipline. If you want to act as if you are the best, don't look for shortcuts. Embrace the structure. Wake up early. Train your body. Train your mind. Do the work no one sees. Because discipline is not punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect. And when you live with that kind of discipline, people will notice. They may not say it out loud, but deep down they'll know. This man is different. This man is strong. This man is free. Chapter 4. Fourth, truth. Your mind shapes your reality. The fourth, Stoic truth is powerful, and if you master it, your entire life will transform. Your mind shapes your reality. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." What does this mean? It means that your world is not just what happens to you. It is how you see it, how you think about it, how you respond to it. Two men can face the same challenge. One breaks down and says, "Why me? This is unfair." The other stands firm and says, "This is my training ground. This is my chance to grow same storm." Two completely different realities. That is the power of the mind. The thoughts you allow, the stories you tell yourself, the perspective you choose. These shape the life you experience. The Stoics trained their minds like warriors. They knew that if your mind is weak, no amount of wealth, power, or fame will save you. But if your mind is strong, no loss, no pain, no hardship can break you. Ask yourself this: when trouble comes, do you panic or do you focus? When people insult you, do you crumble or do you stay calm, knowing their words cannot touch your worth? When life feels unfair, do you complain or do you rise, knowing every obstacle is a chance to prove your strength? This is why your mindset is everything. Your body can be trained, your skills can be sharpened. But if your mind is weak, you will fall. And if your mind is strong, you will stand, even when the world tries to push you down. Here's the truth: you already carry the greatest power inside you. If you feed your mind negativity, fear, and doubt, your life will reflect that. But if you feed it discipline, strength, and wisdom, your life will rise to meet that standard. That is how you act as if you are the best. Not by arrogance, not by pretending, but by programming your mind to see the world through the lens of strength, growth, and calm. So remember, your mind is the architect of your destiny. Guard your thoughts like treasure. Train them like muscles. Direct them like a commander. Because once your mind is unshakable, your reality becomes unstoppable. Chapter 5. Fifth, truth. Death is the reminder. Live fully. Today. The fifth, Stoic truth is the most powerful, the most uncomfortable, and yet the most liberating. Death is the reminder. Live fully today. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled the Roman Empire yet never forgot his humanity, wrote these words: "You could leave life right now." Let that determine what you do and say and think. Stop for a moment. Let those words sink in. You could leave life right now. Not years from now, not decades away, not someday when you are old and gray. Right now. We live as if we have endless time. We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow. I'll forgive later. I'll chase my dream when I'm ready. I'll live fully when the timing is right. But the timing is never guaranteed. The truth that no one wants to face is this. Every day you live brings you one step closer to the end. And yet, most men live as if they are immortal. They waste hours scrolling through distractions. They waste energy arguing about things that don't matter. They waste years chasing approval from people who won't even remember their names. But the Stoics refused to live this way. They carried memento mori, the remembrance of death, not as a dark thought, but as a guiding light. Because when you accept that your time is short, you finally learn how to live. Think about it. If today was your last day, would you still care about what strangers think of you? Would you still delay that dream you've been holding back? Would you still waste hours in regret, envy, or fear? Or would you act boldly? Would you speak your truth? Would you forgive the people who hurt you? Would you love your family without holding back? Would you step into the man you were always meant to be? That is what this truth demands of you. It demands urgency. It demands focus. It demands that you stop living half asleep and start living fully awake. The strongest man does not fear death. He uses death as a compass, as a reminder of what matters most. He asks himself every day, if this were my last sunrise, how would I carry myself? If this were my last conversation, what words would I choose? If this were my last act on earth, would it make me proud? And when you live like that, something shifts inside you. Your priorities change. Your excuses fade. Your courage rises. You stop chasing meaningless things, and you start building a life that actually matters. Here's the truth. Death is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It whispers in your ear, stop waiting. Stop wasting. Stop pretending you have time. Start living, so live with urgency. Wake up with purpose. Work with intensity. Love with depth. Speak with honesty. And move with discipline. Do not leave this life with your potential buried inside you. Do not leave this life having played small. Do not leave this life without giving the world the gift of your strongest, most disciplined, most fearless self. Because when your final moment comes, and it will come, you will not be asked how many hours you scrolled, how many followers you had, or how many people approved of you. You will only ask yourself, did I live fully? Did I give my best? Did I leave this world stronger than I found it? That is the Stoic way. To face the truth of death, and to let that truth push you into a life of strength, discipline, and impact. Yanuel message. Now you have heard the 5 Stoic truths, 5 pillars of strength, 5 reminders that will make you unshakable if you live them. But I need you to understand, this is not just another video. This is not just content. This is a message to wake you up, a message to remind you that life is short, strength is rare, and greatness belongs to the few who master themselves. So here is what I ask of you. If this message struck something inside you, don't let it fade. Don't watch this, nod your head, and then go back to living the same way. Take action. Subscribe to the channel, because this is not entertainment. This is a brotherhood of strength and discipline. Like this video to push it forward so more people can hear this truth. Comment below which Stoic truth hit you the hardest, because when you write it, you lock it into your mind. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because every man deserves to wake up to his own power. And finally, turn on the notification bell, because you cannot afford to miss the next message that could change your life. Remember, life is short. Time is running. And every day you delay is a day you can never get back. So carry these truths, live them daily. Act as if you are the best, because no one is greater than the man who has mastered himself.